Good morning, boys and girls.
Hi, boys and girls. We are ready to read.
We are ready to read. We're ready to start. Welcome to another week. All right, Coraline, can you start us in our prayer?
Them open, set them, give up, clap. Open, set them, for them, and around. Don't play this. We won't play this time.
Yeah, Mommy's gonna pray. Okay, can you want to sit up? You're sliding off your chair. Dear Jesus, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for each and every one of the boys and girls and adults who are watching and tuning into our video. I pray that everybody will enjoy it and get something out of your word. Please help us today and throughout the week. Keep us all safe. Thank you again for the beautiful day. In Jesus' name, amen.
I was sliding off my chair.
Yeah, I saw you were sliding off your chair before we prayed. Here, move you back a little. There you go. Now can you sit up?
That was fun.
Okay. Oh, you. All right. Coraline, can you remember, who are we learning about?
At this point,
Who are we learning about? Okay, but who are those people?
I don't know.
You don't remember their name?
No.
Those are the Hebrews and the Egyptians.
Hebrews.
But who is the main person in our story? Who is God? Who has God been talking? He's not in this picture. Who has God been talking to? You remember his name?
No.
No?
Mm.
Moses.
Yeah.
We've been learning about Moses. In week 1, Pharaoh was worried that the Hebrews were becoming too strong, so he ordered that all the baby boys be thrown into the Nile River to be killed. Okay. Moses' mom was scared and didn't want her baby to be killed. So she made a basket for him and placed out of reeds and placed him in amongst the reeds in the Nile River. And Pharaoh's daughter saw the basket and got her servants to come and take it out. And Miriam, Moses' sister, went and got Moses' mummy to look after baby Moses until he was old enough to live in the palace. Yeah. And then last week, Moses ran away from Egypt because he was scared because he killed one of the Egyptians. He was trying to protect one of the Hebrews that the Egyptians were being mean to. So he ran away and he became a shepherd. And one day, while watching his sheep, he saw a burning bush that was on fire. But it was strange, though, because the leaves weren't burning. So he went closer to find out what it was all about. And it was God. God wanted to talk to him. So God talked to him through the burning bush. And he said, "Go back to Egypt. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go." So he went back to Egypt and he told Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh said, "No." So God said, "Don't worry. I will make many, I can't think of the word all of a sudden. He will do many mysterious and miraculous deeds and miracles through Moses and Aaron. And the first one he did was he turned the staff into a snake. I don't know, honey. I can't get the lid off. You're going to have to use the other one. You're going to have to use this.
And
I can't get the lid off. There you go.
They come snakes.
Yeah, snakes go pss, pss, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
We can do that.
So while Coraline is going to start working on the craft, I will read the next chapter. So this is the plagues. Exodus 7 through 10.
I-
Sorry, 7 through 11.
I'm going to
We'll do those ones last. I will help you with those ones. You just do the polka dots right now. Okay? You do the polka dots and the coloring, and I will help you with the rest so I can show the boys and girls how they go on. Then the Lord sent a series of plagues upon the Egyptians, each more terrible than the last. First, he changed the waters of the Nile into blood, so that all the fish died and the air stank. Ooh, yuck. He sent a plague of frogs to cover the countryside and fill the houses. Next, the very dust of the ground was turned into gnats. It's okay, just wipe it on another one. And everyone was covered with them. And after them came a swarm of flies, so many that the air was black with them. He sent a plague among the livestock of the land, but spared the animals belonging to the Hebrews. Then the Egyptians were afflicted with horrible boils. Next, God sent a terrible hailstorm, which stripped the land. Those plants that managed to survive were consumed by a swarm of locusts. Nothing green remained on a tree or plant in all the land of Egypt. After this, God sent a total darkness to cover the Egypt for 3 days. Each time Pharaoh pretended that he would relent. Yet, each time, once the plague was lifted, he refused to let the Hebrews go. The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart to teach him a lesson and to show God's true power, and to make sure that the story was told throughout the world. But now the time had come for the final plague. So there they are with the frogs everywhere.
I just
This lady is going, ew, get the frogs off of me. They're everywhere. This guy's trying to sweep up all the frogs. They're in the houses. They're on the ground. They're on the people. They're everywhere.
Can I see they're on
Even
the
on the
people?
rooftops.
Can I see they're on the people?
Mm-hmm. See? They're throwing them out off the rooftops. They're sweeping them out of their houses. They're everywhere.
Mommy, wait.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I just put a little bit on
Okay.
here.
All right. So after Moses and Aaron visited with Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go," and they turned the staff into a snake, he said, "We will go away, but let our people go." But he didn't. So they went back and they said, "Pharaoh, God says, let my people go." And he said, "Nope."
Mommy, I dropped a
You
spot.
dropped a spot? Okay, that's okay. There's lots more. See? Lots more.
I need to get that spot.
Can you climb down and get it?
First, I need
You can get it after. Okay?
to.
So the next thing that God did was he performed a bunch of plagues. So the first plague, he turned the water into blood. And it stank so badly. Oh, that would have been very stinky.
Yeah.
And all the animals that were in the water, all the frogs, all of the fish,
Mommy?
everything, they all died.
When what are you going about to? Then it was stinky.
Oh, Coraline. You don't need to say stuff like that. You keep going. Look, there's a bunch that are stuck together here. These two got stuck together. All right. But Pharaoh still said, Pharaoh said, okay, get rid of the plague and we'll talk. So they got all the water turned back. And they went back to Pharaoh. They said, okay, so let my people go. And he said, just kidding. No, I'm not letting them go. So he said, all right, let's see what God will do next. So the next plague that God sent was the frogs. He covered the land, everything. He covered everything in frogs. So again,
I'm going to get that spot.
okay, go
right
get the spot. So again, Pharaoh said, okay, come back. Just get rid of all these frogs and we'll talk. So he got rid of the frogs and they went back in and he goes, again, just kidding. No, I'm not letting them go. So after Pharaoh said no, God turned the ground, all the dust of the ground into gnats. They're like little bugs. Ugh.
Here's two.
Yeah, okay, keep going. So he covered the ground with bugs. So many that everything was, I think this was the one where everything went black. Was that the one where everything went black? I can't find it. No, this isn't the one where everything went black. All right, so the gnats everywhere, all these yucky bugs. So for those of you who don't like bugs, that would be pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's not bugs. They're honeybees bug.
Honeybee's a type of bug, but that's a good bug. We like honeybees. Those aren't gnats. These were like little teeny tiny things that are all yucky and like mosquitoes are, I think, are a type of a gnat, I think. You have to ask your moms and dads to confirm that one. So they sent gnats everywhere. And you think by now Pharaoh would say, okay, enough. But he still said, no, I'm not letting them go. So again, God said, okay, here comes the next plague. And this one, he sent flies. This is the one where there were so many flies that everything turned black. Can you imagine so many flies that everything was black? Ugh. There is no picture for that one, honey. You keep going. If you're done with your spots, then you can color.
Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
There's black right there.
That's the sky. That's just the sky. It's dark with storms. So, still, even after all of that, we'll put the legs on after. Okay, so we can show the boys and girls how to do it. So you color, okay? You color them. Here, I'll take the lid off of this one.
I want to glue.
There you go. So, he got rid of the bugs and he said, okay, you said you'd let them go. And he goes, no, I'm not going to let them go. So next came the livestock, where they killed the animals. And that, let's see what they say. Yeah, he killed all the animals, all the livestock, except for the Hebrews. The Hebrews' animals were okay. And followed by boils that covered all of the Hebrews. And if you don't know what boils are, they're these welts, the red welts, and they're so sore. They really, really hurt. And you just want them off, but they don't come off until they heal. So Pharaoh again said, okay, tell your God to get rid of these boils and we'll talk. So God got rid of the boils. They went back in and they said, okay, what do you say? And he says, I say, no, I am not letting them go. So then there was a hailstorm. God sent a hailstorm and it destroyed everything. And I'm not talking about the little teeny tiny hail that we get. We get really tiny hail. This was like big hailstones. So imagine a snowflake, but this big and hard, almost like you're having a snowball fight.
I can see green.
Yeah. Keep going, you're doing great. So imagine you're having a snowball fight, but the snowballs are raining from the sky and they're destroying all the plants. So after that, they went back in and Pharaoh still said no. So whatever plants were left were now being destroyed by locusts. And locusts are like little grasshoppers and they go around and they eat everything. They go around and they eat everything. So all those leaves, like on your shirt, they would go, yummy snack. And they would eat it all. So after the locusts were gone and Pharaoh still said no, God sent darkness to cover Egypt for 3 days. No light. No light for 3 days.
That's right. You take down Christmas lights.
Like
No
that,
light.
but there'd be, no light anywhere.
Yeah,
So
no.
not even a light in the house. Except they didn't have lights in the house back then. So no sun in the sky. It was all covered. Complete darkness for 3 whole days.
Then,
So all of
one
this-
time, then we can put out our Christmas lights on.
But then, even in morning time, it was still dark. For 3 whole days. Non-stop darkness. And all of this, God performed to just the Hebrews. Just to the Egyptians. The Hebrews were spared from all of this. He protected them.
Mommy.
Okay, you keep coloring, okay? You keep coloring. Okay, you color. We'll snuggles later.
Out.
Careful. So all of this God did to show his true power, but Pharaoh still said no. So let's turn the page and find out what the last one was. What is the last and final plague? So this one is called the Passover. It's found in Egypt in Exodus 12. Just wait, honey. We'll do that one after, okay? You color. Can you color them?
Wait.
Don't do that. You're going to wreck it. I have it all set to go, okay? You color.
You knocked my foot down.
I'm sorry. There you go. So Moses warned Pharaoh that God would pass through the country at midnight. Every firstborn son in the land would die, from the son of Pharaoh himself to the son of the lowest slave girl, and even the firstborn of the animals as well. But Pharaoh would not listen. Moses told the Israelites what God wanted them to do to be spared. Each household was to kill a lamb, smear some of the blood on the doorframe, and eat the meat in a special way. That night God passed through Egypt, and the next day the land was filled with sounds of mourning, for all the firstborn sons had died, even the son of the mighty Pharaoh. But the Hebrews were spared. Now the Egyptians couldn't get rid of the Hebrews quick enough, and so the Hebrews prepared to leave Egypt. So there it is. There's the Hebrews. They had painted the blood on the doorsteps, and they all went inside just as they were instructed. We'll leave that. We're not going to use that one. That one didn't work out. Okay?
Let's end this potato.
It's okay. You keep coloring. We're almost done.
I don't want to color.
You don't want to color anymore? Okay, you sit nicely and listen, and then we'll move on to your craft. All right. Turn it over. So at this time, Moses told Pharaoh that if he didn't let the Hebrews go, God would go through Egypt and kill every firstborn son, for not only the firstborn of the Egyptians, but also of the animals. But as long as the Hebrews listened and did what God said to do, he would pass over the Hebrews and spare their lives. So they trusted God. They obeyed him and did what he said. They took the blood of the lamb and they smeared it across the doorframe, and they ate the meat that night in a special, certain way that God instructed. That night the Hebrews were spared, but every firstborn male was killed, even Pharaoh's son. And that night, and just as God said would happen. So finally, after all of this, Pharaoh said, "Go, just go, just go." And he let them go. So all of this was God showing how powerful he is. Okay, come sit down. We're going to do your craft. How powerful he is. He's trying to say, look, if you don't believe me, I will show you. I am true. I am the one God. I am the true God. And I am more powerful than any. I can do anything that I want. So you need to listen to me, and you need to obey me. And if you listen and obey, I will protect you. And that's what he did. He protected the Hebrews because they listened and they obeyed. And they did as God asked. All right. So Coraline has been working over here, putting green spots all over this paper bag. What do you think it's going to be?
A frog.
A frog! Let's see. All right. So, let's take this part. Let me put the glue on, and I'll show you where it goes. So you're going to take this, and you're going to put it way up here at the top. There you go.
It's going to be a frog with ears?
No. So right there. So frogs have these big bulgy eyes. So that's what that is. That is the big bulgy part for his eyes. So you're going to put this in one of those little green things that we just put down. There we go. So we're using a paper bag. If you don't have a paper bag, you could even use a sock if you wanted. And if you don't have a sock, you could just color a picture of a frog. That works too. Or if you really wanted, what you could do, if your child is older, they could draw a picture of each of the plagues that we learned about today.
Wait.
Okay, so this one I just took a little piece of pink paper and I rolled it up. So he's gonna go under here. Can you put him under there? That's his tongue. Frogs have really long tongues for eating flies. They go.
Uh-oh, it doesn't stay
It'll stick.
on.
It'll stick. Don't worry. See? That's what we wanted. Just wait. Okay. So now these are his arms. So these ones, you're going to put... These ones are a little bit more tricky. So you're going to put it like right here. You're going to attach it in there. There. There's one. Here's two. There you go. And now these are the big legs. They go down to the bottom. They go down here. So you push them in there. Squish it down. Last one. Oh, it'll stay on. It just looks like it's not staying on. Then you put that one over there. Like that. And now, when you lift it up, you put your hand inside. Ooh, it's not quite dry yet. Let's see if we can do this quickly just to show the boys and girls what we've done. Quick, put your head inside. See if it'll stay in long enough. It's a hand puppet!
What?
There you go. Oh, don't eat me, Froggy. All right. Okay, let's put him down because you're right. He needs to dry and he is falling apart. So let's put him down and let him dry. And then you can play with him later. There you go. Your own frog puppet. All right.
And
let's put him over here to dry.
And once he's finished, then you can make another frog.
If we have another paper bag, we could make another frog, yeah. I'll have to go and look and see if I have a small enough one. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in once again. Okay, sit on your bottom. We're going to say goodbye. Okay? I love you too, but you sit on your bottom. So thank you for tuning in once again, and we will be back again, same time, same place, next week to find out what happens next with Moses. What happens next with Moses and the Hebrews now that Pharaoh is letting them go?
And the froggy. Ribbit.
Ribbit, ribbit. All right. Are you going to say goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Goodbye,
Boom.
boys and girls. Thank you again. We will see you next week.
Boom.
Okay, you want to turn it off? Be careful.
Oops.
There you go.